Hello guys, I'm Guru Prasad and currently I'm studying in SVC Bengaluru. I'm from IAC department. Today we are going to explain about some of the most important topic related to the OOPS with Java, that is object oriented programming with Java. That is the final keyword. That this is the one of the most important topic which is present in the Java. So let's begin the video. In this presentation, we are going to explain about some of the introduction or what is the advantage and disadvantage about final keyword, the final keyword classes, and how to access the final keyword, all the things. First of all, move on to the first topic, that is the introduction. The final keyword is used to declare the constant value that cannot be modified. Once the final keyword is having some value, it cannot be reinitialized, it cannot be overridden, and its size cannot be expanded. So these are the three conditions which is followed by the final keyword. Then the final variables can be only assigned by the value once. It can be assigned only once, and final methods cannot be overridden by the subclasses. This is the most important condition for the final keyword. We cannot change the constant values for the final keyword. Next, move on to the final variables. Final variables must be initialized at the time of declaration. Next, the once final variable is assigned to the value, it cannot be changed and cannot be overridden. The third one is the final variables are often declared with the upperclass letters for the readability, and it is only used for the uppercase letters for the readability. And once it is declared, the value could not be reinitialized and it could not be overridden. And final keyword which represents that is this is the final one, so the value cannot be changed. So next, move on to the final methods. Final methods cannot be overridden by subclasses. This is the second condition. Next, final keyword are often used to class hierarchies to prevent the certain behaviors from being modified. So we cannot modify the sum of the final keyword values. Once the final keyword initialize that value, we cannot rewritten or overwritten that value from different value. So that is called as final keyword. Final keyword will plays a major role in the Java OOPS with Java. Next, final method provides security by ensuring the critical method cannot be altered. Once the final keyword declared, the value could not be changed. So it will provide the security by ensuring the critical methods. So the values could not be changed. This is the main work of final methods. I mean final keyword. Next, move on to the final classes. Final classes cannot be extended by the other classes, and it means the class size or the final keyword size cannot be extended by other classes. Finite classes are often used to within the class when a class has specific purpose and should not be modified or inherited from the other class. This is the main purpose of the final keyword. We cannot change anything from any other classes. Next, the finite classes are commonly used in the utility classes or classes that provide the static methods and cannot be instantaneous. The final classes will exist when the is static. Static means the values are fixed. We cannot change the each value. So this is the final classes. Next, move on to the final parameters. The final parameters cannot be reassigned or reinitialized a new value within the method. Final parameters are used to ensure that the values passed into a method cannot be modified. We cannot modify any value. Final parameter can improve the code readability by clearing the indicating that value should not be changed. Once we declare the final value, we cannot change the value. This is the about final parameters. Next, the final and immutability. The final keyword is closely related to the concept of immutability. Immutable objects are objects those whose states cannot be changed after creation. After initializing or after giving the value for the final keyword using final keyword for one integer values, it cannot be changed for a while because once it is declared, that is final. This is the main intention of the final keyword. Next, the final variables are often used to create the immutable objects by ensuring that state cannot be modified. We cannot change any state of that final keyword. This is the main purpose of final keyword and it is closely related to the immutability. Immutability is also same as final keyword because immutable objects are objects whose states cannot be changed after creation. After creating, it cannot be changed. The values are cannot be changed. That is the main purpose of immutability. Next, move on to some of the most benefits of final keyword. The final keyword provides increase the security by preventing the modification of critical values or methods. It will provide the most important, that is security. Next, final variables and methods improve the code maintainability by clearing indicating their unchangeable nature, and we cannot change the values, so it is having unchangeable nature, and we can improve the code maintainability by clearing the indicating the unchangeable nature. So while initializing the final keywords value, we know that what to initialize and how to improve that code maintainability. The maintenance of the code is very much important in the programming. So next, move on to the final classes and methods can be used for performance optimization, as they cannot be overridden or modified. Once we declare the final value using the final keyword, we cannot change anything or any value from any other classes. This is the main thing of final keyword. Next, move on to the best practice when using the final keyword. Use the final key sparingly and only when necessary. When the necessity is needed, then only use the final keyword, because we cannot change anything. So next, avoid using the final keyword for a variables or methods that don't need to be constant and unchangeable. We know no need to use the final keyword for the constant or unchangeable, which is not needed. So that is the final keywords. One more practices. Next, the document the purpose and reason behind using the final keywords are in the code comments. It should be in the code comments. Though, so use the final keyword very carefully, because these three conditions will plays a major role. When we need it, then only we have to use the final keyword. Next, the final keywords and its inheritance. The final keyword can affect the inheritance by preventing the subclasses from modifying or overridden certain elements. It means the inheritance is the property which is inherit the property of another class. One class which inherit the properties of another class. That is called as inheritance. Then the final keyword can be effect from that process. So final keyword is also used in the inheritance also. Next, final keyword or the final methods or classes can be limit and the flexibility of the class hierarchy. Next, careful planning and design consideration are needed when using the final keyword in an inheritance structure. In an inheritance structure, the final keyword should be used very careful planning and very neat design consideration. Though, so the final keyword will plays a major role in inheritance also. So in inheritance, we have superclass, subclass, those things. There, the final keyword is also used. We have to use the final keyword for the initializing that value. That is final value. Next, this is the small example for the final keyword. First, we are going to the class name as a GFG. Next, declaring and customizing initializing or giving the initializing the value, that is static value, that is int capacity is equal to 4. 4 is the static value. Next, public question arguments. Next, we have to we are going to change the capacity value, but we have used a static final keyword here. So the capacity is equal to 5, then it will show the error, because it will show the compile time error, because the final keyword capacity is equal to 4 is already declared using the final keyword. We cannot change the value capacity value as a 5. So let's execute this program. Yeah, it will show the error. Cannot be assign a value to the final variable capacity, because the final variable capacity is already declared, that is 4. So it will show the error. This is the one example. Next, the conclusion. The final conclusion about the final keyword is in the final keyword is used in a Java is used to declare the constants and unchangeable, and it also acts as a immutable objects, and the methods cannot be overridden, and its size cannot be expanded. So this is the one conclusion about final keyword. Next, it provides the increased code security, maintainability, and performance optimization. This is the best advantage for the programming in the Java using the final keyword. Next, proper usage and understanding of a final keyword are crucial for the effective Java programming. Using the final keyword is very much efficient and very much important for the Java programming. So final keyword we have to use very much carefully, and because we cannot change the value, we cannot override the value, and we cannot expand the size of that value. So this will plays a major role in the inheritance, methods, constructor, all the things. The final keyword is very much important in the Java programming. Next, this is all about the final keyword. So I hope you guys enjoy this video and you have learned something. So please utilize this knowledge in the Java programming. using the final keyword. Final keyword will plays a major role. So please like, share, subscribe the video. Thank you guys.